We've got our crochet hook, our yarn, and our slip knot ready to go. But you don't know how to go and crochet. Well, no worries. Let's take care of that. Hello everyone and welcome to Amparo Wonderland. If you are here, then that means that you want to learn how to crochet in the rows. If you already know how to hold your yarn and how to hold your hook and how to create a slip knot, then you are ready to go. So let's go ahead and stop talking and let's get yarning. Okay, so we've got our slip knot onto our hook here, and now we want to start working into our rows. But the first thing you got to do to create the row is that you got to make your foundation chain. So go ahead and create your favorite method for your slip knot and slip it right onto your hook here. And what you're going to do next is that we are going to create chains. And to make a chain, it is very simple. You simply yarn over, so you place the yarn over your hook, and you're going to pull that yarn through this loop that is on your hook already. So you pull it through, and that's one chain. Okay, let's do that again. You yarn over and pull that yarn over through that loop there. That's two. Then you're going to go again, yarn over and pull through the loop. So your chains, as you can see, each chain is created as a V here. And each V, as I said, is a chain. So when you extend your chains and you continue to make them, this becomes your foundation chain. And you create the number of chains that you want depending on how wide or long, depending on how you're working your project, that you want your project to be. So let's say that I want my project to be this wide. So if you want this wideness for your chain, you gotta chain one more because that's going to become your turning chain. And that means that the turning chain, you are not going to be working into that. So to work back into the row, to work into your foundation chain, you're going to work into the second chain from the hook. That's what we crocheters like to call it. So that means that this is the first chain right next to your hook, but that is your turning chain. So we do not work into that chain. That means that we're going to work into the second chain from the hook. So you're going to go into that chain, and you can go into it from the top loop here. You can go through the back bar. There are back bars over here. Or you can go through the bottom plus the back bar, like this. Just to make things simple, I'm going to go through that top loop here in the second chain from the hook, and then we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Now this is where you're going to start making the stitch that you want to make. In this case, I'm going to show you how to create the single crochet. To create the single crochet, you have those two loops on your hook already because we pulled up our loop here. So we're going to yarn over one more time, and that yarn over is going to be pulled through these back two loops here, both of them, just like that. And now that first stitch, you're going to mark it up with whatever you've got lying around, or if you have a stitch marker, you want to mark it up. So that way when you come back, you know that that is going to be the last stitch you work into when you come back. And now we're going to repeat that process into each chain. So you see your chain here, the V. We're going to work into that top loop here. Place your hook right in there. That means the back bar is below your hook here. And we're going to create the single crochet again. So you yarn over and you pull up a loop. You've got your two loops on your hook. You yarn over and pull through two. And then you go all the way across your foundation chain. So the number of chains that you started out with, you subtract one, and that's how many single crochet you're going to have for this first row. So go ahead and continue that process all the way across, and then I'll show you how we're going to move on to the second row. Alright, so we've got our first row done here. It should look a little bit like this. It depends on how many chains you made. Yours may be shorter or longer. Now we want to go on to the second row. To create the second row, first you gotta chain 1 because you gotta make that turning chain that we spoke about. And this is called a turning chain because first of all, you do not work into that chain, just like we didn't before over here. And the turning is because we're going to turn our work. You can turn whichever way you want, but I prefer to turn my work counterclockwise or to the left side this way. Okay? And now that turning chain is going to look a little twisted, which is fine because we are not working into that chain. So we're going to go straight into this single crochet here, which is the last single crochet that we made. So you skip your turning chain and work into the single crochet. And what you're going to do is that you're going to continue working single crochets. But to go into that single crochet, as you can see at the top of your single crochet, your stitches, they have the V's again. But in this case, instead of going through the top, we're going to go through the front of our single crochet here. So those little holes here are going to be your stitches. So go into that first stitch right through there, and you should have the V right on top of your hook here. Now we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So you pull that up. You've got those 2 loops again. So you're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops to create your first single crochet of row 2. And again, you want to make sure that you mark it up with whatever you've got lying around. It could be a bobby pin, could be another piece of yarn, whatever you've got, you just want to mark it up. And now we're going to continue that process. So you go into the next single crochet here. So place your hook into that little hole there that is right below the V. The V is going to be right on top of your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. You got your 2 loops, you're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. And that's going to be your second single crochet. Now, the number of single crochet that you have for row 1 is the same amount that you should have for row 2. So go ahead and continue the process of creating your single crochet for row 2. And then I'll show you at the end how it looks when you are going to work into that final single crochet, which is actually the first single crochet from row 1. As you can see, I have made it at the end of my row, but I have one more stitch to do, which is where my stitch marker is. You can leave your stitch marker there to help you guide you, but you are more than welcome to remove it if you think you will be able to find it. So I'm going to remove my stitch marker. And what you're going to do is that you're going to work into the single crochet the same exact way as all the other ones. So make sure you have the V right on top of your hook. You yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And that ends row 2 of single crochets. We're working the rows. So what we're going to do next for row 3 is exactly what we did for row 2. So we do that chain 1, and then we're going to turn because that's your turning chain. So turn your work. And now as you can see, we have that chain here that's all twisted. We're not working into that. And we have our first single crochet right here. You see the first V right there. That's where we're going to place our hook into. Yarn over, pull up a loop. We got our 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2. And then you mark up that single crochet. And that's it. That's the whole process on creating your single crochet in the rows. If you are working other types of stitches, then you got to start your row a different way, but that's a topic for another video. And there you have it. Now you know how to crochet in the rows with single crochet. If you enjoyed this video and it helped you out, definitely give it a thumbs up because it helps me out figure out what type of videos you all enjoy to watch and learn from. Also, I do have a freebie available, which is the Ultimate Crochet Cheat Sheet. It has crochet stitch abbreviations, yarn weight charts, and many, many more tips and tricks for y'all crochet beginners. If you are interested, you can find that link in the description box down below. In the other hand, if you also have any comments, questions, or concerns, definitely let me know in the comment section down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And now, if you enjoyed this video, then you are definitely going to love this video right here. It will help you out in your crochet journey, so I will see you there, and if not, then I will see you in the next one. Bye!